What would you become? If the gods could change you into anything?
I don't know.
Just pick something.
A bird, maybe? Or a deer? Or a rain cloud?
Why a rain cloud?
I could follow you around and bother you. You didn't answer your own question.
What?
If the gods could change you, what would you become?
It's your turn.
I already answered.
You'll think it's silly.
Tell me.
Anything.
Anything?
Anything. I'd become whatever you are.
Then we shouldn't change at all.
God's endless summer, and then we will wake to the ways they have changed us. Tomorrow perhaps I will sleep past the sunrise and find that you're gone in the night. Tie wings to my sandals, I'll drink from the sky, and I'll be by your side by and by. 'Cause where you go, I will go with you. Don't you know my childhood is in your eyes, bright and wise? We'll take our time. Don't leave me behind. I will go with you. I will go with you. I will go with you. Where you go.
They can send 1,000 embassies, they can slaughter, they can pray. There is nothing that will crack him, there is nothing I can say. Old Phoenix speaks of Meleager, a proud and fragile name, a hero who was racked with anger as a city was aflame. They begged the man to fight for them, he refused them all the same. But his lover watched their suffering, and she couldn't bear the pain. Phoenix says her name, and he looks at me, and we all know what he means by that. Her parents called her Halcyon, the girl who they named Cleopatra. She was on her knees in her brilliant grief, Cleopatra. And her eyes were dark like a prophet's tree, Cleopatra. So she went to him in the fateful dark as the ashes fell like stars. And her tears were birds and they traveled far and they nested in his heart. Phoenix says her name and it falls like sand, every letter coarse and fine. When you rearrange the syllables, the name she bears is mine, Cleopatra. This he swore to you when the war is through, Cleopatra. When the world is new, I'll be here with you, Cleopatra. He loved her more than anything. He went, he fought, he won. But it was too late. She was too late. The damage had been done. No honor waited for Meleager. His hands empty, the torch of his fame diminished. He saved his city from disaster, but only earned hatred and disgrace. And she went to him in the fateful dark as the ashes fell like stars.
Patroclus, my mother was right. Let them suffer for the cause they insist on dying for. Let them pay for our childhood, and as long as we're allowed, let's be happy. Please.
Who is this boy? His noise and his danger. Your violence gleams, your days with silent dreams in moonlight made you seem a stranger. I know a boy. I've known him forever. But there's a day when he turned back to look at me and someone else was in his armor. We've grown too brave for pretending. I know your life's not mine to save. We're racing like a heartbeat to the ending, so just let me try to save my heart from breaking. You're restless, I'm quiet. Each glance is a question, and sunrise is falling like ash from the heavens.
Who is this boy? He's panicked, defiant. Now he stands alone. Is this the prince I'd known? How can I deny him?
Is this the boy whom no man can frighten? In the chill of dawn, all his defense is gone, and so like a child again. In other days we were bending toward the sun, like a bowstring yields to let its arrows blaze. We're racing down the hillside and it feels so long ago, unreal, and I can't help the ache. And swiftly I'm falling through time like an arrow. The string breaks, the bird flies, and memory is freedom. Who is this boy? I don't think I know this boy. If you don't fight today...
It was my choice, but I made it, and I will get the honor I paid so dearly for. Should I let Agamemnon humiliate me? Should I bow to his whims again and again? We've taken it this far. I won't bend now.
Then I will.
What?
Dress me in your armor and let me fight in your stead. You won't have to serve Agamemnon or turn against your mother. The Trojans will take me for you, and the Myrmidons will chase them from the ships, and our people will be saved.
You'll get yourself killed.
We'll give the Trojans a scare. That's all. There's no prophecy over my head. We'll push them out of the camp and be back by afternoon.
Patroclus, this isn't a good idea.
Think of what you said to me the day by the river on Mount Pelion. You said...
What if the gods could change you?
You tried to speak, but you
I couldn't.
And you blinked twice.
And I said to you
that you would grow with me. You swore that you would go with me, Achilles, and you said you'd be here tomorrow. You've always had my love, and since that's not enough, where you're going, let me follow. We've grown too brave for pretending. I know that you're not mine to save. We're racing like a heartbeat to the ending, so just let me try. Just let me try.
Don't take Troy without me. I'll do the rest. We'll have our forever.
Or whatever is left. Let me go, Achilles.
Then you will return to me? Were we the boys who were
gods for a moment? You were born divine, but you weren't satisfied. satisfied. Achilles had to be a hero.
10 years ago, we watched and we wondered. The world was young, our lives a song unsung, your eyes the drowsy shade of summer.
I've grown to pray for pretending, but then the darkness meets your deathless gaze. It feels like this will be a bright forever, memories like a dream, and I'm so close to waking.
We lay by the river, the sunlight was breathless.
We're quiet,
We're restless.
each glance was a question.
Who is this boy? Who is this boy? Who is this boy?
I think that
I love this boy.
So pick a fight, so call on hell, so blame it on some girl.
Her lover's pissed, and just as well you snatch his bronze and pearls.
Who tells of how we suffered, who sings about our laughter. We build our fires, there is no after.
We've heard your people's stories. You call us wives and daughters by ancient pars. We grieve the slaughter. We cry laments to make you hear.
We sing your grief to make you hear.
We rise like smoke and disappear. And grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief.
We came so far,
Bear the scars, but the glory's yours to keep.
So you'll say the hero loved him more than anybody else did. My heart was broken, but how I felt it. The gentle grief when he was near. Now all that's left are ashes. You will burn him down to ashes. I grasp at nothing, at time and snatches. The moment snaps and now the man appears. My lord,
Briseis,
you have left him in the dust for days. Let us prepare him for burial.
He will return to me.
You can't say that.
I will take care of him.
It's too late for that, Achilles. So you sat right here and smiled goodbye and sent him off to die.
I couldn't have said no to him. Do you know how hard I tried?
You're no different than the rest of them. You tried to sell me for your pride, but of course that wasn't good enough. So you ran and took your flight, and you dressed him up to find. You went and sold his life. Gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. You made him go, you let him go, and now you dare to weep. You couldn't watch him suffering, he ached to weep instead. It's touching all this love for him, but he's already dead. Where's your honor? Where's your honesty? Where'd your courage go to hide? And we all were sure you loved him. Now we all know that you lied. Where's your darling golden pride? Where were you when he died? Grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. Grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. You go and fight a war sit here safe and proud and precious while Patroclus dies alone. He was the best man in the camp. He was the best of the Myrmidons. You destroyed every good thing we had left in our lives.
The moment of our fate is come, and may our lives be brief.
You left your hollowed city, and it wasn't even burning. 1,000 ships, an ocean churning. You doomed 1,000 lives, and then again the end will come. Again the walls will crumble. There will be smoke. There will be thunder. The hungry flames will crawl again. Grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. And grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. Grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. Grief gives way to grief, gives way to grief, gives way to grief. You came this far, he bears the scars, the glory's yours to keep.
That's it. I can't say I remember the rest. I can't say I've forgotten it either. I would be lying if I said I did.
I didn't think you had any qualms about that.
About what?
Twisting your words here and there, dressing the truth in borrowed armor.
I do consider that one of my finest talents.
I would think so, considering you never told anyone?
I'll take it to the grave.
It looks like you have. I'm sorry to see you here.
Don't be. I'm not. At least I don't think I am.
You're not, are you?
I was on my way home after the war was won. There have been complications. I was told to travel here for guidance, to find my way back home to my wife and son.
You haven't received it?
I've seen far too many familiar faces. It was you I sought out.
Why?
I was hoping to receive your blessing.
Mine?
Forgive me, Patroclus.
It's more than just my life you threw away.
Tell me what I must do to appease your soul.
You know it's too late for that.
Patroclus, believe me when I say that I understand what it is to be...
You don't. How could you know what it is to gaze at him sleeping, falling into the spaces between the breaths, wondering if this is how he'll look in death? How could you know what it is to hold him through his grief? To feel his hot tears on your face and to be glad, desperately glad because it reminds you that he is alive? How could you know what it is to fight with him, laugh with him, run side by side? To hurt and be hurt by him, love and be loved? To sing love songs, light fires, cook breakfast? Break down, confess, forgive, live, live, live. How could you ever possibly know?
Then tell me.
I look towards the distance, he's calling my name. I'm running to meet him, he grins and he waits. I wish I had a secret, I wish I had 1,000, and just so I could tell them every single one. And then I start to see it, I don't know how to say it. It's something like a question, but it always comes undone. If he had not been mine, if he had not been mine.
I'm standing alone and the wind steals my breath. I feel the storm approaching. You know what comes next. Then something burns inside me. It's something like a secret. At times it feels like anger, at times like pride. I hold him like a grudge and yet I keep him like a promise. I know I didn't choose him, but I know that he is mine. If he had not been mine, if he had not been mine.
Achilles, racing down the hill, laughing and reaching for my hand. Achilles,
the son I never wanted to bear.
Achilles gazing at the sea, his eyes bright with longing, his voice brave and breaking. To Troy,
he says to me that he will not rise to fight. And when he says those words, I see the way their looks darken.
The way the light teased joy from his eyes, his fingers running through his hair, his face honest with morning light,
his father's gentle, bruising hands, the waves that once sang home, now whispering of the day that man came to the sea and took me. The water turning gray as the morning dies.
As dawn spills blood over Troy, as he arms for battle one last time, shouldering his armor and that quiet sadness. Something lonely in his stride.
Something crumbling as I hold my son for the last time. Something
tearing, breaking.
Something bending, yielding.
Something aching, rising, swelling like the tide. My child growing inside me.
My
vengeance and my hope.
Everything.
I vowed.
Everything they took from me. I will give this boy everything.
Too early to tell him, too late to forget. I'm counting down from 20, and time holds its breath. The memories come like rainfall, the earth is crushed to sweetness, and everything is holy and turns to gold.
His hair about his shoulders
tangles with the sunlight, and somehow I already know I won't see him grow old. If he had not been mine, if he had not been mine, if he had not been mine, what would I have been?
He said that he would go with you, and he said he'd be there tomorrow. And though you came to Troy, he somehow stayed that boy, and you are the reason.
Tell me about your son.
I can't.
I understand.
No. I mean that I was called to sail to Skiros just after he was born. I was taken from him when he was days old. I never knew him. I would imagine raising him. I would spin all manner of anecdotes from his boyhood, and I would tell them to anyone in the camp who would listen. And I would almost believe them. I see a different boy in my head every night. Almost like I have 1,000 sons. Sometimes he looks like you.
He does?
Sometimes he looks like Achilles. There is one memory I do have of him. A lullaby I sang to him every night, even before we brought him into this world. An old song, a springtime song.
Tomorrow, perhaps.
Not again.
I'm not finished. Tomorrow, perhaps.
Chiron is waiting for us.
Achilles told me.
Tomorrow, perhaps I will sleep past the sunrise and find that you'd gone in the night.
Tie wings to my sandals, I'll drink from the sky.
And I'll be by your side by and by. 'Cause where you go,
I cannot follow. Don't you know tomorrow was in your eyes?
I will go with you.
I cannot follow.
I will go with you.
I cannot follow.
I will go with you.
I cannot follow.
You shouldn't stay among us too long. Leave your offering and go.
This isn't an offering. I brought a handful of your ashes with me. Yours and Achilles's. I wanted to bring them back to Mount Pelion.
You've lingered with us long enough. Scatter them to the winds. You find your way, and we'll find ours. Go home, Odysseus.
You didn't get to.
But you do. So tell our story.
What good would it do?
I don't know. Perhaps it will do some.
What shall I say?
Say that there were two boys who raced each other to the sunrise. Say that one went too far and the other went with him.
And how should I end it?
However you like. Turn us into trees. Or change us into birds. Hang us in the stars if your gods are generous.
What would you become?
What?
If the gods could change you, what would you become?
Anything.
Anything?
Anything. I'd become whatever he does.
You did. A boy. A man.
A lover.
A fool.
A soldier.
A hero. Best of the Myrmidons. Best of the Greeks. Aristos. A Chion.